What's up guys and welcome, I'm Zimmy Games, and today I found an article about something I thought was just very interesting enough that I am actually going to make a video on this. And what I am talking about is how Sony is being fined $3.5 million for issuing misleading refund advice to PlayStation users. The site I found this article on is gameasultra.com, and if you would like to read the full article, I will be leaving a link down in the description below. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this news. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, or the ACCC, filed a lawsuit against Sony in May of last year, after PlayStation representatives refused to issue refunds to 4 consumers who wanted to return digital games that they said were faulty. But where the problem takes place is this, quote, Sony Europe made misleading representations to 4 consumers who believed they had purchased faulty PlayStation games, reads an ACCC statement. This occurred when Sony's customer service representatives told them over the phone Sony Europe was not required to refund the game once it had been downloaded or if 14 days had passed since it was purchased, end quote. One customer trying to refund his game was also told by a representative that he didn't have to issue a refund unless it had been authorized by the game's developer. And it was also explained to another customer that the representative could offer a refund in virtual PlayStation Store currency when the item was initially purchased with cash. Now, some of you guys might be confused, but the problem with all of this is that it actually breaches the Australian Consumer Law, or ACL, that says if a product is faulty, it must be repaired, replaced, or refunded. The ACL also states that a refund must also be given in cash or money transfer if the consumer originally paid in one of those 2 ways, unless the consumer chooses to receive store credit, that is. So at the end of all of this, the Australian Federal Court found that Sony had breached Australian consumer law, and Sony Europe has now admitted liability and will have to pay $3.5 million. As for my take on this story, this is most certainly going to have a negative effect on Sony and the PlayStation brand as a whole. Digital game refunds are already a tricky subject for many gamers as is, and this article is not going to help that much. Not only did PlayStation representatives refuse to refund a broken game, but in another case, they offered store credit for a purchase that was originally paid with cash. Altogether, this is complete anti-consumer behavior on Sony and PlayStation's part. Because this news is a smaller gaming related story, as well as the current climate in the world dominating headlines, I don't believe that this news will have that large of a reach and will most likely float under the radar for many consumers. But if this news does become more mainstream, I believe that we might see some PS4 users in certain regions becoming hesitant over buying their games digitally. As for the long-term effect of this, we are currently approaching a new console generation, and this news only adds to a growing list of bad press for the public relations team at Sony to tackle. Most recently, the conditions at Sony's game studio Naughty Dog and the leak of Sony's most anticipated game of the year being Last of Us 2. If anything can be learned from this story, however, it is the importance of all gaming companies to looking at the laws in each of the regions that they offer support, and to comply and make sure that they're following all the laws in those regions. But either way, I would love to hear all of your guys' thoughts on this topic. What do you guys think of this specific story about PlayStation having to pay out $3.5 million? Do you think that that's a fair amount for them to have to pay? Do you think any of this is fair? And do you believe that gaming companies like PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam are offering fair refund policies just to begin with? Let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on all of these different questions. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, as it will definitely help other people find this video. If you have not done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. In addition to gaming news like this, I also do game reviews, let's plays, and unboxings, so never miss out on any of that and hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Peace out, guys.